I have always said that Durham is way hipper than Raleigh. I just feel weird saying that. Do people say hip anymore? Can I say it's cool? Anyway, Durham is like Raleigh's cool uncle. We're going to look at 8 things that you will love about Durham. Durham is a very creative and quirky city, and it really shows in the variety of festivals that they have here in Durham. They do have the regular music and food truck gigs that everyone else has, and those are great. Festival for the Eno is one of those popular festivals. On July 4th weekend, over 50 music artists play across 4 stages. There's also an amazing group of artisans that show and sell their work at the Eno Festival each year, and of course the food. Homemade ice cream, fish and chips, Mexican, African, Jamaican, Indian. There's a huge variety of food trucks. But like I said, Durham is quirky. When I saw the Beaver Queen beauty pageant where contestants dress up as the most beautiful beaver, I was like, okay, this is over the top. But then I dug a little deeper and I found it's a quirky and fun way to raise money for the Ellerby Creek watershed, which is a habitat for, you guessed it, beavers. And yes, I will probably say quirky like 4 more times in this video. Other notable festivals are the Bull City Rumble, a vintage motorcycle festival, Black Wall Street, a celebration of Black businesses and entrepreneurs, NC Comic-Con and ComicQuest, a 2-day comic and film festival where you can dress up in all kinds of quirky costumes for the cosplay contests, and the Full Frame Documentary Film Festival, which is more my speed than beaver costumes. I don't know about you, but it's a 4-day international film festival featuring nearly 100 documentary films. And if film is something you enjoy, there's another film festival, the Haiti Heritage Film Festival, which features short and long films by and about people of African descent. Durham has some amazing outdoor spaces. West Point on the Eno is a 400-acre park located along a 2-mile stretch of the Eno River. Scenic bridges, woods, and walking trails give way to historic buildings like the West Point Mill, a historic mill which was reopened in 1978. Durham Central Park is more than just a play space. It's a community gathering space, and they often have concerts and events here, and there's always something going on. Durham was named the South's tastiest town by Southern Living, America's foodiest small town by Bon Appetit magazine, and the New York Post called Durham the foodie capital of the South. Andrew Knowlton, Bon Appetit writer, says of his visit to Durham, "How could someone so infatuated with food and restaurants, with chefs and fancy cocktails and plates of oysters at 3 a.m., think that these 2 towns," speaking of Durham and Chapel Hill, "with a combined population of less than 300,000 people would stand up to my hometown, New York City." Award-winning restaurants include Vin Rouge, the Restaurant and the Roof, located inside the boutique Durham Hotel. And if we're talking about iconic restaurants, you cannot go to Durham without eating at Dame's Chicken and Waffles. Of course, fried chicken is a Southern staple, and pairing it with crispy, chewy, mapley waffles, bon appetit. Politics. Maybe this surprises you, and maybe it doesn't, but when people call me to talk about where they should move, they often ask about politics, and I'm going to remind you here, feel free to leave a comment, but be nice. I'm just sharing information. In the 2020 election, Durham had the highest percentage of blue votes in the state. That dark blue county is Durham County. You might think this is a good thing, or you might think this is a bad thing, but now you know how well you fit into the Durham culture. The median home price in Durham is a mere $320,000, and this is $40,000 lower than sister city Raleigh, which makes it remarkably cheap, especially for a city with so many amazing amenities. For that median price, you can get a lovely mid-century home like this one with a huge backyard in Durham. Durham has excellent healthcare options. There are 3 major hospitals: Duke University Medical Center, Duke Regional Hospital, and the VA Medical Center. Duke University is a nationally ranked hospital, and both are top regionally ranked hospitals. The VA Medical Center works in collaboration with Duke as a teaching hospital, so veterans get the same great health care as other residents. Sports in Durham is dominated by Duke University and the Durham Bulls. Cameron Indoor Stadium is legendary, as is the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. The Bulls play in the revitalized downtown, so going to a game can easily be paired with dinner and drinks if the hot dogs in the stands aren't enough for you. And Duke rivals Chapel Hill and NC State are just down the road, so you can easily catch the games even if they aren't playing at home. NC Central's football and basketball programs might not have the national following like Blue Devil basketball, but they're an intimate part of Durham's hometown vibe. Before we talk about arts and entertainment, I'm going to tell you a story that has nothing at all to do with Durham, but it does have something to do with the sponsor for today's video. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to my dad. He's 80, and I've been asking him a lot of questions about his childhood, and surprisingly, he's been telling me stories because we're English, and English people don't tend to talk about things. Anyway, he told me something that absolutely blew my mind. Before the World War II air raids on London, my grandmother was married to another man and had children, a whole different family. Her husband and grandsons were lost in the air raids. I had uncles who in essence disappeared. My grandma isn't with us anymore, but I would give an awful lot to have her stories as a young woman recorded for posterity. It wasn't possible in the 1940s, but now it is. What family stories of yours need to be recorded for posterity? Today's sponsor is Hulume. Hulume can record your story or the story of a loved one in a documentary-style video for a very affordable price. And it doesn't have to be the older family members either. They have 3 digital heirloom packages to choose from for different budgets. All you have to do is book an appointment at the link in the comments below. And back to our show. Discover Durham sums up Durham's thriving art scene like this. We've got the largest performing art stage between DC and Atlanta, festivals many years old and weeks long, otherwise boring electrical boxes, parking garages, and tobacco warehouses painted by local artists telling generations of history. Even our natural green spaces serve as backdrops for dancers, singers, poets, and creators. Some notable venues are the historic Carolina Theater, in operation since 1926, has become an icon of Durham. Located in historic downtown Durham, the Carolina Theater hosts comedians and music concerts, as well as a variety of film festivals and different types of film series like Anime Magic or their retro film series. The Durham Performing Arts Center, or DPAC, is the Triangle's Broadway connection. DPAC hosts over 200 performances a year, including touring Broadway productions, high-profile concerts and comedy events, family shows, and the American Dance Festival. Brightleaf Square is a super trendy spot. They renovated a pair of historic tobacco buildings and turned it into a shopping district. It's full of locally owned restaurants and unique shops, and they often have concerts and events in the square. And one of my favorite spots in Durham, because I'm a plant nerd, is Duke Gardens. It is absolutely beautiful any time of year, but when everything is in bloom, summer through fall, it's just stunning. It's 55 acres and every inch of it is landscaped with beautiful flowers and stonework and this amazing koi pond. I am going to have a koi pond in my backyard one day. I just love watching these amazing little fishes. They're so adorable. They also host outdoor concerts during the season. If you like this video, you'll probably also like this one comparing Raleigh to Durham.